The next game module that we'll talk about is the jam session. So after you've gone through and you've done your music theory memorization and you've practiced your scale patterns on the guitar, now you can go to the jam session. And the jam session is an automatic music backing track program that will help you practice playing your scales and developing melodies and different musical lines on your own. So you can practice your scales. So if you wanted to practice your C scale, for example, you could leave it on the key of C. This is where you select your key. You can play any of the keys that we've taught in the course, all of your major keys, all 12 major keys, and then you can play your natural minor, all of the natural minor keys, and all of your harmonic minor. And so you choose a key, you choose a time signature. We offer common and cut time. You choose a tempo, and you choose the number of times you want to repeat it. So we'll leave this example as the way it is at 100 beats per minute. So up here is your progression selection panel, and you can choose between musical style, you can choose a specific progression, you can choose a song format, or you can choose certain jazz tunes, the backing tracks for those. So what we have the radio button selected as progression, and it's a simple progression, which is just the one chord. So in the key of C major, the one chord is C major, and that's why you got 4 bars of C major. If we were to change the progression and go to a 1/5 vamp, that means alternating between the 1 chord and the 5 chord, then you'll do that. And we can show you by raising the tempo, you can make it play faster. So you alternate between C and G. That's the 1 chord and the 5 chord in the key of C. If you choose your different key, if you choose G flat minor, it's going to alternate between G flat and D flat. I'm sorry, G flat major. And you can choose many chord progressions that we have available. You can choose a 6-2-5-1 in the key of G major. So that's an E flat minor, A flat minor, D flat major, and G flat major. That's your 6-2-5-1 chord progression. And of course you know that because you've mastered your music theory memorization game. So after you've chosen a key, a time signature and tempo, and you've chosen a progression or a style, then you go to the musical part and you can do different settings for the bass, the accompaniment, and the percussion. For example, if you wanted to choose the bass instrument, you could make the bass be a, let's do a slap bass. And you can choose the bass pattern instead of just doing root notes. The root notes does 4 root notes, 4 quarter notes. You can make it do a root 5-3, which it randomly chooses. The first beat is the root, and then it randomly chooses notes between the root, the 5, and the 3, which are the chord tones for the current chord. And when you play that, you can choose the accompaniment, you can choose the accompaniment instrument. I'm not sure how the clav will sound, but we'll try that. And you can choose lots of different rhythmic patterns to play. So what we've been playing with the whole time is whole notes. That's why the accompaniment is just whole notes the whole time. You can do 16th notes. Or you can choose, many different, you can do a Charleston combo. You can choose a different chord type for the accompaniment. You can choose 4-note chords. Currently, all of the chords are played in the root position. There's no inversions, but we'll add that soon. One that I like to do is the 3+2 with eighths. And so the idea is, if you want to practice in your keys, if you're practicing your guitar and you want to get a little jam session going, then you have your, basically this is your backup band. And you want to practice playing in the key of G flat, and you're just getting started out, and all you want to do is practice your scale on the one chord. Then you can come to the one chord, and while this is playing, you'll have your instrument with you, and you can play some stuff on top of it. You can practice your G flat scale, going up and down the scale. You can practice trying to hit the chord tones of the specific key. And then if you get bored with that, once you've got your scale down and your chord tones, and you want to like add some movement to it, you can try playing these different progressions, the 1-4-5-4. And you're just going to practice soloing on top of this. Practice playing on top of each of those chords. And if you get really good at it, and you want to increase the tempo to make it more challenging, you just increase the tempo. Now you have to make the changes faster. You can try all kinds of different instruments to find out what you like. And it's just a fun way of practicing scales instead of just going back and forth. Da, 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 da. And so that's why we invented this game.